Hi, I'm Hsing-ay Hsu and welcome to Midday Musical Moment. 大家好，我是许兴爱，欢迎收看午间琴音。Today's theme is a private moment, and I am shooting from my classroom here at the Chautauqua Institute in upstate New York. You know, it's such an amazing gift when we can slow down to really listen to someone and let them feel heard. But sometimes we're not as good to ourselves, to listening to all the different voices within us. And I think in Chinese culture, just as in American culture, we're proud to be able to keep the intensity under wraps of our emotions and somehow deal with it in private. We don't want to burden the collective. And we'd like to think that we can all control it, but at some point we need a hand from outside. And I think two of the hardest things to learn in life is how to ask for help and how to receive it. There's really nothing shameful about taking a hand. As President Biden said in his inaugural speech, sometimes we need a hand and sometimes we need to give a hand. Here's my cultural nugget to share today. So during my senior year at Juilliard, I was getting high-profile opportunities. Things were going great, including a paycheck award recital. It was a huge deal. Juilliard was presenting me in recital at Lincoln Center. And so I was pushing myself to practice even harder, and I completely ignored my body's painful reaction to overuse. I gave myself impossible expectations. Had I paused to listen to the needs of my shoulders and taken the time to release some of the tensions in my life, I would not have spent most of that time in pain, unable to play. And I think that it's a plight that I share with many young aspiring musicians, that we try so hard to do everything as fast as possible, whereas a career really takes a lifetime to develop. And there is something positive that came out of this experience. So in my struggle one day at my parents' house, I discovered my breath. And I discovered that my breath had power in it, that it could help me release tension, and it could add power to different ways that I was playing. The leaps that I was making, the phrasing that I was doing, the kind of sound I was producing. And luckily, I was able to perform my recital at Lincoln Center a year later, and it really was a miracle that I was able to play again. What's really important to learn here is that there is such a high cost to ignoring what our whole self is trying to say to us. And that's why regular reflection is so crucial to our wellness. Music, I think, gives us a really gentle way to approach the uncomfortable emotions so that we can move through them and get to the other side. Now, let's find our breath, our qi, together in this moment. Breathe slow and low. And think about a spot maybe about 4 inches below your belly button. Inhale fully. And exhale everything out. Clean it all out. Push everything out. All out until you have to inhale again. Now, today's music is inspired by Peking opera. My grandma used to watch Peking opera. Now, the character of Mo is a lost character. There used to be 5 main characters, and this character became a subset of another category. This piece called Mo is part of a set of the 5 characters. It's written by Wang A-Mao. Wang A-Mao is a lovely young composer in Beijing who got her doctorate in Kansas City with composer Chen Yi. The idea, the musical image here is that this character is lost, and he is the character of an old man feeling lost. I'll be guiding our musical breathwork with our hands like this. Inhale, expand, and exhale, release. And today's music challenges us to slow down our breath. If you find yourself breathing differently than me, that's totally okay. Just close your eyes and keep breathing gently. Ready? All right, that was The Old Man by Wang A-Mao. Now, I recorded A-Mao's full work of all 5 Peking opera types for my DVD a few years ago, China Through the Lens of Piano Music, which is available on my website, hsing-ay-hsu.com. Let's now listen to a short song about another private moment. This one is Spring Dawn. My daughter's friend, Rose, loves languages, and even though she doesn't speak Chinese, she learned to sing this song in Chinese. And this poem was written by Meng Haoran during the Golden Tang Dynasty. How suddenly the morning comes in spring. On every side, you hear the sweet birds sing. Last night, amidst the storm, who can tell with wind and rain how many blossoms fell? Do you feel ready to sing along?
春眠不觉晓，处处闻啼鸟。夜来风雨声，花落知多少。
Thanks, Rose. Okay, so this week, our activity is to schedule a set time every day to find music that expresses how you feel without judging the emotion, just to get beneath our conscious verbal level and listen to our hearts. Let go of thinking that we should feel happy. What is your soul saying to you? If you play an instrument, try to find maybe a harmony or a sound that can express your feeling, and have patience. If some of you have had trauma in the past, remember you're not responsible for having a perfect response. Know that you have options and allies who want to help. Today, are you feeling content, sad, anxious, scared, generous, delighted? Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence has a really fun tool, ruler, and great ideas on emotional wellness. And these resources and other ideas are on my website, hsing-ay-hsu.com, on the resource page. Now, as a summary, let's take a moment to notice how you're feeling after our midday moment. If you have more mental clarity, if you feel more ready to engage, if your spirit is more uplifted, then you had a great musical moment. Share with me what you heard today, and let's end with a couple listeners' comments from last week. One listener wrote in, great midday pause to reflect. And here's another comment. It was a pleasure to take a moment out of the day to calmly breathe and relax and enjoy the concert mindfully, as well as reflect on the power of music to transport us mentally to other times and places without physically leaving the area. Thanks for writing. There is still a survey link on the Yale-China.org page, and we want to hear what you're experiencing. Remember to suggest questions for our final Q&A on July 29th. Happy listening, and I'll see you next week. Take care.